Hi mathematicians! We are starting a new unit today, Unit 7, and it is fractions, but we're doing it a little bit different this time. We're using fraction strips instead of those fraction circles that we used last time, okay? So a little bit of review here with what the top and bottom number mean on a fraction. Remember, the top number is that numerator, okay? So right here, if you're looking at 1/3, the 1 is the numerator, and the denominator is the bottom number of a fraction. So that 3 right there is the denominator of the fraction. Okay, so the bottom means the total amount of parts in the entire shape or whatever it is you're looking at, and the top number is just how many are shaded in that shape. Okay, so we are going to look at these fraction strips, which are, it's the same thing as looking at a fraction circle, except it's just in a rectangle form. And the reason that we use these is because we can easily compare two different fraction strips together that have a different amount of parts in it to see which of the fractions is bigger. Let me show you. Okay, so how I'm going to label these, let's look at this first fraction strip. So how do I know how many pieces this is cut up into? So I'm going to count to see how many pieces there are. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so if there's 5 total pieces, remember that the total number, that's the bottom number, the denominator. So I know that the denominator is going to be 5 because it's cut up into 5 pieces. And now, if I'm just naming this one piece out of the total strip, I'm just going to have a 1 there because it is 1 out of the 5 pieces. Okay, so I'm going to put 1/5 for all of these because they are all worth 1/5. Okay, and same goes for any other fraction strip. How it's cut up, all you have to do is count how many pieces it's cut up into, and that'll be your bottom number. And then your top number is just going to be a 1 because you're naming each individual piece. So let's do these real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so these are tenths. So they're all going to have 1/10 in them because they're all the same or equal amount of piece that is cut up. Oops. And this last one, how many pieces are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so these are 12ths. And they're all gonna say 1/12 in there. I'm not gonna take the time to do all that. But how could we compare, if I were to ask you, is 1/5, is it greater than, less than, or equal to 3/10? Okay, so the way that we can figure this out, because right now we don't know if 1/5 is bigger, smaller, or the same as 3/10. But that's why we use these fraction strips, because we can easily line them up together and see which one is longer, shorter, or if they're the same, they'll be lined up exactly. I'll show you what I mean. So 1/5, I can represent that by just filling in one of the pieces for the fifths, okay? And then I'm gonna do that same thing with 3/10. If I have 3/10, I just have 3 of these pieces, because 1/10, 1/10, and 1/10 is, well, 3/10. Okay, so do you see how this fraction strip, it's like a little bit bigger than this 5th up here? Okay, so what I mean by a little bit bigger is if you were to draw a line going down, let's do it in that color. If you were to draw a line going down to see if they meet at the same point, the tenths go farther because they end over here, than the fifths. So you know that the tenths are bigger, the 3/10 are bigger because, well, it takes up more space. Okay, fifths ends right here and 3/10 ends right there. Okay, so we know that 1/5 is smaller than 3/10. So we are going to put the less than symbol right here, saying that 1/5 is less than 3/10. Okay, let me show you a few more, and then you guys are going to try it on your own. All right, so we're going to compare 1/2 and 2/4. This picture is a little bit small, but I'm going to shade in the fraction on the half fraction strip. So 1/2, if I just have one of them, I just shade in one. Okay. 1/2, and we're trying to compare it to or see which one is bigger, smaller, or maybe even the same as 2/4. So the fourths are right here, and I don't just have one of them, I have two. Wait a minute. Look at this. If I run a line right down where they both end, look, they end at the exact same spot. So that means that they are equal to each other because they have the same amount shaded in. Even though these numbers aren't the same, you notice how this 2 is bigger on top than this 1, and you're thinking, well, if they have 2 of it, it probably is bigger than 1. Well, that's not necessarily true because the 1/4, 2 of those, if you put them together, they're the same as 1/2. Okay, so you would put equal to right here on that one. Let's try another one. So 1/3. Where are my thirds? Okay, I see the thirds right here. If I just have 1/3, and what am I trying to compare it to? 3/8. Here's my eighths. Okay, so 1/8, 2/8, and 3/8. Ooh, this one's kind of close. I like to do this line going down because then I can tell exactly which one has more. So I can see that the 3/8 goes just a little bit farther than that 1/3. So I know 3/8 is bigger than 1/3. So I'm going to use the less than symbol because 1/3 is less than 3/8. Oh, we have one more. Okay. 1/3 compared to 3/6. So I already have my 1/3 shaded in. And now I just need to fill in 3 of these 1/6 lines. Do you know which one is going to be bigger or smaller? Which one do you think? We're comparing 1/3 to 3/6. Clearly, the 3/6 is bigger than that 1/3. So weirdly, all of my answers have been the less than symbol. All right, with your guys's work, I need you to, you're going to label, you're going to need to zoom in because you can't write that small, and make sure you have a small pencil tip. But you're going to zoom in, and I want you to label each of the little pieces. You're going to label them with a unit fraction. So I'll do this first one for you. 2/8 and 2/4. So this first fraction goes with the first fraction strip. The second fraction goes with the second fraction strip. So if we're just labeling each little piece, remember there's just one piece that you're labeling, and then you just keep the same denominator. So each of these would be 1/8. And I want you to label all the way across until you get to the end, and then you're gonna shade in. Okay, so all of these should say 1/8. And then you get to shade in however many are on in the numerator place. So that 2, you would shade in 2 of those 1/8, and then do the same with fourths. You're gonna write 1/4 in each of those, and then shade in 2 of the pieces and see which one is greater. See if 2/8 is greater than, less than, or equal to 2/4. Okay, you're gonna do that for each of these problems, and then on these last 2, you get to try it out breaking up the pieces yourself. So 2/3, you'd want to make 3 pieces, right? So try breaking up it into 3 pieces and then shading as well, in order to compare the 2 fractions. And on this one too. I think you guys are going to do great on this. This is something that we have, of course, done before in the last 2 units. I think it was Unit 5. So you guys have a great head start on this. Good luck.